Hey boys and girls, this is Miss Carter. We've been working on writing summaries and understanding how to put things together to make a summary. And we've also learned a strategy called somebody wanted but so then. And here's the abbreviation for that. And that's just a really handy way to help us put all that information in there and to include everything. And here's what it means. Somebody, that's when you're going to tell who the main character is. Wanted, well, you're going to mention what the character wanted or maybe what their goal was, but that's what kind of stopped them from accomplishing what they wanted to do. That's what the problem is. So, how did the character try to solve the problem? How did that work out? Then, what was the resolution to the story? So the final ending, how did everything work out? All right, so we're going to take a look at Cinderella, and we're going to try and fill this out going off the story Cinderella. So who is the somebody that the story is about? What do you think? Yeah, of course, it's Cinderella. She's the main character in the story. Now, what was it that Cinderella wanted, do you think? What did she want to do? Yeah, she wanted to go to the ball. That was a big deal. But now that's what was preventing her from getting what she wanted. This is the problem that she was up against. What was it, do you think? But her evil stepmother forbid it. She gave her lots of chores to do. She wouldn't give her anything. She didn't have a nice dress, so she wouldn't let her go. So now what did Cinderella end up doing to try and solve this problem? Well, she ended up getting a fairy godmother that performed some magic and granted Cinderella's wish. So she ended up getting the dress and the coach and all the stuff she needed to go to the ball. Then, now we're going to tell what finally happened. Well, she was able to go to the ball and meet and eventually marry the prince. So using the somebody wanted but so then format, we have gotten all the information on here. Now, we've also practiced using all of the story elements in this too. So let's look at our summary all together. Summary statement. Cinderella wanted to go to the ball, but her evil stepmother forbid it. So her fairy godmother performed magic and granted Cinderella's wish. Then Cinderella was able to go to the ball and meet and eventually marry the prince. Now, does this include the main characters? Yeah, it includes Cinderella. The prince is important in the sense that Cinderella, wants to meet him, but he doesn't really have a big part in the story. Now, the fairy godmother is important because she helps Cinderella solve her problem, and the stepmother is important because she's part of the problem. Now, it doesn't mention the evil stepsisters, but that's okay. It's just a summary. It doesn't have to mention everybody. It mentions the setting for part of the story. It mentions that she wants to go to the ball. And obviously, the problem and solution are definitely in there. So it's a pretty good summary. All right, so we're going to look at Little Red Riding Hood. This is a story we've already worked on with summary. We did it using the story elements, the character setting, problem, solution. So we're going to work on this again. We're going to use the somebody wanted but so then method and see how easy it can be. And we'll still be able to include all those story elements in there too. So what you guys are going to do now is you're actually going to write down in your ELA notebook each of these steps as we go. And yours doesn't have to look exactly like mine does, but it'll be similar. So right now I want you to pause the video and you're going to write down the somebody that we're talking about in the story. Pause your video now. All right, somebody. Yeah, it's Little Red Riding Hood. She's the one who the story is about, so that's going to be your character that's dealing with some issues here. All right, now we want to talk about what Little Red Riding Hood wanted. Think about early on in the story. What did she want to do? Where did she want to go? I want you to pause the video and you're going to write down your wanted section. All right, let's see what you got. I came up with that she wanted to visit her grandmother. That's what she was trying to do. So Little Red wanted to visit her grandmother, but now this is where we're introducing the problem. So we're going to see something that comes up and keeps Red from visiting her grandmother. Pause the video and fill out the but section. Okay, let's see what you got. but she left the path and met a hungry wolf. So, tell the next part of what happened. Sometimes this will be where the character actually starts to try to solve the problem. Sometimes this will just add more trouble to the problem. So I want you to think about what happened next after Little Red met the wolf, and then fill out the so section. Go ahead and pause your video. Okay, let's see what you got. So the wolf ate Little Red's grandmother and tried to eat her. That's terrible. Awful wolf. Well, that's definitely adding more trouble to the problem. So over here and then is where we're going to start, where we're going to get the solution. So now you're going to write down what actually finally helped Little Red do what she wanted to do, which was visit her grandmother. So what's going to help them be safe? You're going to pause the video and write that down, and then. All right, I came up with, then the woodsman saved them and killed the wolf. Okay, there you go. Let's look at our summary statement and see if we've got all the parts in here that we need. Little Red Riding Hood wanted to visit her grandmother, but met a hungry wolf on the path. So the wolf ate Little Red Riding Hood's grandmother and tried to eat her. Then the woodsman saved them and killed the wolf. That sounds pretty good. Do we have the main characters? We've got Little Red, we've got that nasty wolf, we've got the grandmother mentioned, and we definitely know the woodsman is there because he's the one who solves the problem. We've definitely got the problem because we know that that the wolf is eating people and trying to eat Little Red, so that's definitely a problem. And the setting, well, we know that she was walking on a path somewhere. It doesn't say the woods, but we could easily add that on the path in the woods, and then we'd have the setting in there as well. So using both of those methods together will always end up with a really good summary. And it's not too long. It's only a few sentences. That's the main thing. We don't want summaries to be long. So when you write a summary, it is a short retelling of a story, not a long, complete retelling of a story. It's just hitting the main points.